Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Opus Abstract. I'm in the front yard today, and this is the island we just had done. It was small to start with, and we moved it, made it bigger, made it a lot bigger. Gotta stand way back. Put the stack stone around it. It looks pretty nice now. So the muni grass that's got the pink fronds, that'll be growing up. This is a Georgia blue speedwell, which is ground cover, but it will bloom for quite a while, and then as the blooms die down, then the foliage, it starts climbing more. So it's not invasive, and it doesn't really spread that far, so I thought a little pop of blue would be nice in here, since it seems like I like white and pink and variations of pink, so it's nice to add some more color in there. And these are just such dainty little blooms, and they're really pretty. Really pretty. I like them. They almost seem like they glow in some ways. I have this pot turned on its side like that. You know, it's one of those type with a smooth bottom on it. And I thought I would put flowers in there that can spill over and look like they're trailing out. I still haven't really decided for sure what I'm going to put in there. So stay tuned for that, because, you know, it's still early and it's a work in progress right now. So over here in this island, I moved Encore Autumn Carnation, and I moved it over to this spot here in the island. It has kind of a really pink flower, and it's just beautiful. So I went ahead and got one of those. Actually, I've got three, but I moved it from the other spot where there's only two over there now. This gets 4.5 feet by 4. 4.5 feet by 4. So it can get pretty tall, and this is a good spot for it to do that. This is Encore Fire. Encore Autumn Fire. Everything has autumn in it. That's a very nice blue, vibrant blue. And these seem to be blooming already. All of these generally bloom spring into fall, you know, at times. So they'll bloom for a little while in spring, bloom for a little while in the summer, bloom for a while in fall. And I think they're just gorgeous. I really have a thing for azaleas. I've got so many different varieties right now. Some of the leaves are darker than others. Of course, with this dark red, the leaves would be darker. So there's always interest with them, I think. So, and here's another Georgia blue, again, speedwell. Again, with those beautiful, aren't they just adorable? I mean, I love that pop of blue. You got pinks, and you got some red a little bit, and then and white, and then you've got this blue that's just dazzling. I think it's pretty. Maybe I go on and on, but I think it's pretty. So then over here, again, I have redone this thing, I don't know how many times really, since living here. At least 3. Because one thing or another will happen, kill it, dry it out, something. So I'm still working on this. Those ligustrums, I trimmed back way back. I mean, they were big over here. And they're beautiful because they're green with yellow. They're just gorgeous, gorgeous. But I cut them way back, so they'll certainly recover. They are just as hardy as heck. They will not have a problem, and they will fill in these sections again. Got some of the I'm sorry, phlox. I had it right in my hand. Phlox. Of course, phlox, and these are beautiful pink. The blooms last for a little while, and then they go, and then you've got the foliage there, and so I'm hoping that'll kind of help with the weed control, some ground cover. This is a Delaware autumn lily. Let's see, it is not part of the Encore series. It's something different. So it's not part of that. And I can't find my card. Okay, well, you just have to forgive me because I don't have the card on it, but it's Delaware. I think I've got it right here. Yes. Okay. This is it. Sorry. Delaware Valley White Azalea. So, and actually it's been really hardy, and it's evergreen, but it only blooms in the spring, and it gets these really pretty white flowers on it. So it's part of the collection. It stays in here. So really like that one too. And I've got it by the bench here. These are the other two carnations. Right here. Autumn, in Encore Autumn Azalea. I'm sorry, Encore Autumn Carnation. Oh, stumbling. Sorry. And here's another phlox, but it's blue. Very light, almost a lavender. It's cute. See, I really like these. You know, you get the color, but it doesn't last that long. But at least it gives you some spring interest. So I think it's worth having. Get the little pops in the spring. Blue Point Juniper here. And this is an arborvitae fern. And it will spread as ground cover too, but it takes its time. It's very slow. And it will look that, you know, until the green starts coming up, it'll look sort of like that. So then, I know it's awkward. I'm trying to walk around the garden and show you things. My purple daydream, I've got 3 here. It got hit with that frost. So this is one of the things, but it looks like it's coming back. So I'm going to hold off and we'll see, because you can see all that growth down there is coming back, and it looks pretty full. So what'll happen is later on I'll come and I'll trim off anything that's dead. Let the bottom end coming up, and actually look, there's a little bloom right there getting ready to start. So, you know, they're hardier than I think, I guess, but they are a zone 7, so I am on the fence about getting things that are a zone 7 anymore, because I've lost zone 7 stuff, and we're supposed to be a zone 8A. But when we have those kind of winters that are a 6, you know, it just kind of messes up. This one doesn't look as nice as that other one, but I'm still going to leave it, let it go, have it come back. This is the other one. It's getting a lot of growth underneath, so I just have to ignore these and wait for them to leaf out, and then that dry stuff will be there, and we'll just cut that off. This is a kaleidoscope abelia, and I did trim this one back, so it's coming back too. So, and sky pencil hollies, got one here and one over there by the other side of the garage, and I recently just trimmed those across. I think they're kind of cool because, you know, you can get them straight across, so they look really neat, I think, and I like that. I like chaos, but I also like a little structure there. So that's, oh, and these are the soft touch hollies. These ones are doing great. They're full. They look great. The other side is struggling more. Cone shaped boxwood that I need to trim. Another one of those blue Georgia blues. I stuck it in the container. And doesn't it look pretty just falling over? Look at that. It's just trailing over. So we're gonna keep that in there for a while. It's like a zone 4 to a zone 9, something ridiculous like that. So there it is. You know, it kind of reminds me of Forget-Me-Not. Yeah, it is what it reminds me of. And since I'm from Alaska, I like that callback, you know, a little bit of that in there. And actually, that could grow in Alaska. It's the zones that it's in. Another cone boxwood, blue star, and then these are the other soft touch hollies that they've always struggled. Actually, this is the second set that I've had here. I put some holly tone on all these things that require that, and hopefully, you know, they'll start coming back. I have plant tone for other things. These are the tater tot arborvitaes, tiny. They don't really get real big, and they'll green up because they're hardy too. So they'll come back. So I'm not really worried about that. There's another one of those purple daydreams. one over here, you can barely see them when they're next to the mulch because the mulch is like the same color. And a Forever Goldie arborvitae, which can be very impressive, I think. It's really pretty. There's my wishful thinking. I've got my spring flag out already. Okay, so this one looks like it took a pretty good hit. I don't see anything coming out from the bottom, so we're going to keep an eye on these. This was planted later than those other three. But I am seeing, so I don't know. Again, those are those things I'm like, oh, shoot, I hope it comes back. I really do. Hate having to replace plants. This is the new one. This is, okay. It is a fire, let me get the card again. I should know it by heart. Half the time I know these things by heart. So, and actually I had the card out in the front so I could see it right away. But it's a tidbit. A tidbit, Firelight. Firelight tidbit. And it's the smaller version of the bigger size of Firelight. So, and it is a panicle, so you can actually, in the late winter, you can trim this back down if it gets real big, but this only gets like 2 feet maybe by 3, so it is ideal for a potting situation. So, and it blooms pink. It actually blooms white, and then they change pink. Most of all of them kind of either bloom that green color and then turn white, and then turn pink in the fall, and then as they get the cool weather of fall into winter before they start going dormant, they can even get a deeper pink. So that'll be interesting to see how that ends up. Sort of an experiment with the hydrangeas. I haven't grown those before, actually, ever in my life, so we'll see what happens. Another, one of those kaleidoscope azaleas. And then I have the stone crop. This is Angelina. And I stuck this one in a pot. It'll trail, it'll fall over the edge, it'll get all, so I figured, and it actually gets kind of rosy too. I like the chartreuse, I really do. I think it's so pretty. Got one here that's red, but it's also a stone crop. That's what they call them. And I stuck this one in a bucket. And they do bloom, actually, believe it or not. So, they do bloom. So we'll see what that's going to look like. I think it'll have like little red flowers. This one, I think, has pink flowers. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But this bed, we had widened out. It was narrow. And so we balanced it out a little bit more. My shadow, so sunny. So it's wider. So that is the front yard. Oh, I forgot the Sangu Kaku. How could I forget that? This is a Sangu Kaku Japanese maple. I really hope it's going to be okay. I do see buds on it, so I'm not too terribly worried. It's just taking its time coming more to that budding situation. I had a mole living under here, and I've been seeing the exit hole, and then it goes in there, and it's pretty deep now. There's really no way to, you know, put a trap up because it's so deep. I just hope that it's not going to disturb the roots. They aren't inclined, moles are not inclined to eat the roots of these trees. They're just looking for bugs, you know, grubs and worms and stuff. So, but it's the rooting around that could cause a disturbance in the root ball. So we certainly hope not, but love the brilliant coral. Again, I'm drawn to pinks. I'm drawn to chartreuse. I'm drawn to pinks. The whites mixed in. Pop in some red and different shades of pink, and then throw in a little hint of blue. I just seem to like that. That's where my wheelhouse is. What's yours? You can leave me a comment and tell me what colors you're using in your garden. And we can compare notes. And I'm sure, you know, I am still an amateur, really, when it comes to all this. So I'm not claiming to be an expert whatsoever. I'm just showing you what I'm doing in my garden. And I've had quite the winters, Since we've moved here, I've had things die. I've had to restart. So it's frustrating for sure. These are autumn ferns, and they turn a bronzy color with the what they call monkey grass. Liriope. And then under the ground here, I've got two. You can't see them yet because they haven't popped through yet, but I've got two hostas. They're called Francis. They're like a variegated. And I got myself a mushroom. I'm terrible. I go to, you know, Walmart or Lowe's or those places, and first place I go is the gardening area, and then I end up with something. But another one of those phlox, red wing creeping phlox, still in bloom. Hopefully that'll drape over the side here. Passion Frost Pieris, which will get about 4, maybe even 5 feet tall by 4 feet wide. That's going to really fill in that area at some point. It will bloom too. It's starting to drop the little things there, so we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some bloom. They start out kind of whitish or pinkish, and this one's got variegated leaves. I think it's so cool. Here's some more of that chartreuse color with the carex. I ended up getting an extra one, so that one's bigger. This one, these are bigger, but these are a little bit smaller because I had planted them later. I send up a little from there, which is their flower. They did get sunburn, but I'm kind of letting them go till I can see what is, you know, and safely cut back some of it. But kind of letting it go, and also letting my banana appeal go at this point to hopefully leaf out again. It tends to recover, so let's hope. This is another type of carex. No, I'm sorry, that's actually bluegrass, blue fescue. I just threw that in there for a pop of something. These variegated ones, I think they're called evergreen. Yeah, evergreen. So, and then my Viridis. Yeah, Viridis. I mean, however it's pronounced. It's a lace leaf, weeping Japanese maple, and technically, it can get 8 feet. It can get big. It's here for now. If it ends up being too big, it'll be moved out into the garden, but it sure is beautiful. When this leaf's out, it's green, but in the fall, it puts on like 3 or 4 different colors. I'm sorry, it's just amazing to me. The trees can do that. This, I changed out my flag. Now I have the springtime Sheltie flag. Of course, you have to do that, right, to tell you what season it is. Some more of those carex, a little bit of creeping Jenny coming back up. Another one of those Delaware azaleas. That one had been in that pot over there, and I decided to put it over here to replace the camellia that died. And hoping, I don't know, it may not bloom this year, but as long as it can survive, you know, we'll just let it go and let it just recover and survive right there where it's at. This is the Anne Irene. Again, I had given you a tour of the backyard before, but you can see now that the blooms are swelling more. And there's I believe a spider. I don't think you can see it too well. Yeah, you can't really see it too well, but a spider, kind of a globy looking spider. Anyway, so that's good news there. That's coming back. The Celebration is budding, and it's going to be leafing out. I am so excited. I just cannot hardly wait till everything starts budding out and putting on leaf. I mean, isn't that what we live for? We kind of live for each season, but shoot, we get into spring, and there's all these surprises. And then winter, you know, some things, even when they're dormant, give us winter interest, and some of these evergreens hold our attention. Like these Cryptomeria Dragon Prince. I got 3 of those, and actually, they're looking pretty good. So they'll fill in there. They're the 3x3. It's pretty much the standard. It's not a huge bush, and there's nothing to do to it. You don't have to prune it, you know, or round it off. It just kind of grows that way. So another Muni grass, another one of those pink ones with the pink bulb. There's another Angelina Stonecrop sedum. And Actually, pieces of it had broken off, and I just stuck them in the ground because, you know, it'll come back. These things, I love plants that are just like, whatever, do whatever you want. I don't care. I will grow, and I will be impressive, and you will love me. And that's what you want, right? This is a Geisha Gone Wild, and it's got a beautiful leaf. And the buds are swelling on that, so that'll come up. They're kind of a weird shape. They're baby trees, so I haven't done any pruning on them, and I won't probably for a while till we figure out what it's going to look like as far as shape goes. But these buds are, I mean, I think in the next several weeks I will see some leafage on these things. These are some new carrots that I got. That's what they look like when they're brand new and fresh. See how chartreusey they are? Is that a word? 2 of those. And then this is a rhododendron, and it's a deep pink rhododendron, and that will be blooming at some point because the buds are there all over it. This can get 4 feet tall, or that's what the card says. You know, sometimes these don't have a shut off. They could get bigger, but this is the right spot for it over here. Gets shade in the afternoon. This whole area all the way up to here gets shade in the afternoon, so that helps. And then it goes, after that it kind of goes into the shade more. But and this is back on the patio again. At some point, you know, we'll have the fire table lit up and you'll be able to see all that. Got my 3 blue point junipers back here. They'll kind of grow up against the fence there. Another golden Forever Goldie, arborvitae, and my 3 Gulfstream Nandinas, which are coming back slowly. Well, you just kind of just ignore them. I mean, I don't mean ignore them like do nothing, but try to look past the fact that it's struggling right now and trying to come back. This one may not, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to pull again and have to replace more, so I'm going to give it some time and see. Here's another stone crop like the one up front. Fugil, something with an F. I should have kept the card on that one. That one I lost the card to. But the one up front you saw a minute ago in a pot too. And then this little trail that I put in, I just put some, so I would have something to walk on when I go back here. Another one of those phlox. I got another blue star, and the Forever Goldie. This is a hinoki, a miniature hinoki. And I just love these two. And the green is so pretty. Like a nice Kelly green, I guess they call that. I'm not sure. But it gets this kind of a look that's not groomed. It sort of goes off and it looks jaggedy, rounded. And you just kind of let that go into the shape it wants to be. I think that's just beautiful. This is a golden hinoki. And again, you know, I'm not doing any pruning on anything till I see what it's going to be doing. Sorry about the traffic. I live near the road, so the truck went by. There's another Anne Irene, and technically this might get too much sun here. So I may end up having to move this to an area that won't be as intense, but what I'm doing is trying to surround it with things that may shade it, because the shade does, you can kind of see it starting to come through. So it does work its way over here. There is those grass plants that'll get big and they'll cast a shadow over here. So putting something in this pot that might shadow it, and just the pot itself shadowing it a little bit at some points of the day might help. So we'll keep an eye on that. I certainly wouldn't let something be burnt up in the sun. So, you know, I certainly would work on something as an alternative for keeping it good. So these are the Autumn Twists azaleas. So there's 3 of these, and they'll be about 4 feet by 4 feet back here on this wall. They're a pink with variegated white. you know, with the white going through them. Actually, they're more white with just, you know, hints of pink in them. So, and again, this muley grass is going to have a pink frond, and it's a really mauvey pink frond, so it's pretty. I have ideas for the back of this rock here. I thought, oh, you know, possibly I could put irises right there. Depends on how much shade these are going to cast off when they get their 3x3 size. It may be that they'll put too much of a shadow on it, but then I could maybe put a plant that requires a little bit of that shade. So a work in progress on those things still. Sometimes you just have to sit back and wait and see what things are going to look like before you plant everything you're going to do for the life of your garden, and just see, you know, what's going to look good there. Here's my blood good seedling, and it is getting its buds on it too. So, and it actually is, it has green leaves for now. It was, as it matures, it'll get more red leaves on it. So that's that nightlight. Canby cyperus. Yeah, I think so. And then another Angelina sedum with my turtle. I have a turtle theme too. You'll find, the more you watch this channel, the more crazy I seem to be. And some of the things I like to collect. And I just love azaleas. You know, it's like, okay. So I've got several varieties. These are called Angel. They're white. And they're actually a zone 7. I'm trying to go with more 6, you know, 6 in case the winter's bad. These got a little bit of damage from the winter. They may not bloom this season at all, but we'll just let them go, and then we'll cut off the dead stuff as we see, you know, that these things are actually dead. And so I need to give it a little while before I start hacking on these things. So that's kind of that story. So those are Angel, Autumn Angel. These are the new ones we planted last week. These are Sunburst. Oh, they're a luscious green. Let me see, do I have a flower back here? Yeah, look. Isn't that beautiful? Autumn Sunburst. Very similar to the carnation, but this one has just a slight, little bit different color. But that same light, kind of pinkish, peachy, I'm not sure what to call that color. It's got white in it. I just think it's so pretty. So pretty. The leaves are really green on this. Here's another one. So I have 3 of these. You can see there's some peekaboo blooms in there. I like to get them when they're blooming, because then I know they will bloom. There's another one. There's been in bloom for a little while. I have my Little Jim Magnolia, which will bloom big white flowers on it. It got some wind damage and some winter damage, and we've gone over this one before. It's a little black. See, it kind of like got it. So these plants may have, you know, a season to recover, and then maybe get a little better later, hopefully. This is a jewel. Autumn Jewel, Encore Autumn Jewel, and it has the prettiest pink. It's like a, you know, just a really deep pink. So again, with my theme of color, seems to be pinks, shades of pink, shades of white, pops of this, you know, a little bit of sometimes blue, sometimes red. And it's another one of those. You can barely see it. See with the way the mulch is. It's also a red sort of. It's pine bark, but it has that red color. And so I actually moved that rock, hoping that you'd be able to see it a little better. I liked it. I planted it, so I'm okay with it. So then let me show you when I come back. Look here. So I have a hole there, a hole there, and a hole over there. So I think I'm inclined to bring in another, some of those hydrangeas, because I just want to see blooms, and I want very low maintenance. I just want them to bloom without me having to really deal with it, and be able to cut flowers and have the flowers. So I'm on the fence about what. So I may do like a little lime hydrangea, you know, that starts out that chartreusey green, and then it turns white, and then it turns pink into the fall. So that would be pretty. I could do another tidbit, like what's up front, that gets more pink in the season. But all of them pretty much start out that white color. There's other varieties that I was looking at last night. I'm trying to stay within the 3 foot, you know, nothing really maybe bigger than 4 or 5, because that one, if I put a limelight, a little lime, not the regular lime, but if I do the little lime, they get between 3 and 5 feet, which seems like a lot, 3 or 5 feet. So that will have room to do that there. But over here, and even there too, really, in those 2 spots. So, I mean, they really could. I could actually get 3 little lime. You know, I could do that. So, on the fence, thinking about it, don't know for sure yet. So, we shall see. Time will tell. So far, this is the garden. We're on a beautiful sunny day. The Bradford pears, I guess that's what those are. Maybe Cleveland, I'm not sure. They're in bloom right now. So, making me sneeze too. Sun is out and the sky is clearing up. We were supposed to get more rain, but you can kind of see looking in the sun how this is going to look. A work in progress, still growing, still in the baby stages. Another thing I did was I did some planting of seeds. Well, this is lemon thyme. Really good. Always looking for excuses to put it in something. And then I have my set of the carrots. Nothing's come up yet on those, but these carrots, I can't see, the sun is on, are starting to pop out. So that's pretty cool. So we had a good thing of carrots last time I did rainbow, and man, they just like were really good, and they just were huge when I pulled them out. These beets have tall top, and I love the tops to put in my salad, so I eat the beet greens. These are red. They'll be red beets. Love beets. I just love them. So there's a bunch in here. Radishes, Crimson Giant. This is what this is. I have another variety too, but right now I just planted these, and actually every 2 weeks you'll get them. I'm still in the process of thinning out as they get bunchy, because I just kind of like, what do they call that? Chaos gardening? Not really chaos gardening, because I didn't just throw them out. I actually made a line and did it that way, but I put several seeds in each line, hoping for, you know, for it to germinate well. So, and then I did lettuce. This is a romaine type. It's a smaller one, and I just did those. So nothing's coming up yet on that. And this is like a crinkle leaf lettuce. Oh, sorry. There we go. And over here I have, you know, bush beans. This is a Mardi Gras mix. Some of the seeds were purple and white, and so some will be green beans, some will be yellow, and some will be purple. But it'll be the bush variety where you don't have to put up a runner for them. So what I did was amending the soil in these beds. I put in some more compost and zhuzhed it around, and I put plant tone in here and just planted the seeds and watered them in. I'll probably have to water again. It looks like more rain's coming, but we just want to make sure. These beds, these are like feeding troughs that we put holes in the bottom of for drainage, but they hold the heat because of the steel when the sun is shining on them. So, you know, I am not worried about these at all as far as things not surviving in here, unless we were to get like super cold. Well, who knows, but we shouldn't. If we even got another frost, it's still not going to be, you know, 32 maybe, but unless we got down to 0 or something. So there's the garden again. Sorry this is running long. I hope I haven't bored you too much here with my stammering and my stumbling that I do along. So in this area here that we had rocked in, another little tour on that, starting to put little things of interest in here. These little, got those at a thrift store. for just a couple dollars. I said, what the heck, put them out there. Another autumn fern. Okay, so these, I just planted these this afternoon. And let me get the card on that. And these, yeah. So this one is called, sorry, here we go. This one is called Marc Chagall. It's a Floribunda variety. So it'll be kind of bushy. But I thought that's so pretty. It has like shades of white. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, kind of a mix. Cluster flowers with 25 to 30 petal count. Ooh. Shades of pink mixed with pale yellow. Ooh. So that's exciting. To me, it is exciting. Maybe to all of you who love gardening as much as I do. The honeysuckles are still struggling, but we're going to hopefully get them to leaf out more. Eventually, maybe growing on my arbor. I have high hopes, so we'll see. This here is another rose that I put in today. These were bare root. I actually got them at Walmart, believe it or not, for $9 and some change. And I was like, you know what? I have not grown roses before like this. I've done the knockouts, but I've never done these kind. So if I go with a cheap one and it dies, I won't feel like I put out a lot of cash for it, you know, like going online and ordering heirlooms that, which these are, but that might die. These are a zone 6, so I'm not sure if they'll do well in the pot in the long run, but these are called cathedral bells. Look at that flower. Oh my goodness. They're good down to a -10, so, you know, I don't think we've ever gotten that cold, but look at that flower on that. So, and it will have an anise lavender scent, so it'll be spicy, I think, kind of smelling. But just gorgeous. 41 plus petals on these when they come up. So let's hope that we get some flowers on these. That'll make a pretty video when these come out. So bear with me. You know, it's just the tour here of the beginning of what could be. So we'll see if my vision comes out. I do plan to do some seeding, like of marigolds and some zinnias, and I will show you those seeds at some point when I do that. But beautiful plants, and you know what? Seeds are not that expensive, and you can directly sow them into the ground. You don't necessarily have to, you know, put them in something and then transplant them out there. So that's what I'm gonna do. $2.15 for like a gazillion seeds. So instead of having to buy all the plants, and that could be some fillers in there and things like that. So we'll see. It remains to be seen. In fact, it'll be interesting to look back on this video and see the progression here as we see what it looks like now in sort of more dormant stage, and then when it comes to life, and see what it looks like. So thank you for watching. If you've watched this long, then you're patient with me, and I appreciate it. Subscribe, like, come back, try to get some more content out. In fact, I'm going to be doing some garden tours. I have friends that have beautiful gardens, which I might do some tours of. And plus, I think I'm going to go to like Decatur and go to Delano Park, which is my inspiration for the rock with the muni grass and actually the hydrangeas idea. So you'll see that when I go out there. And there's a rose garden too, Delano. It's a rose garden, and it is gorgeous. And that's part of the reason going out and seeing that garden that I really wanted to do at least a couple roses and see how they look, see how I do with them. So there are many places in Alabama that I can take you through this and show you some beautiful gardens. And if you enjoy that sort of thing, come back and watch, because I'm hoping as spring hits and as we get into the season and things wake up and start looking gorgeous, that there'll be some beautiful tours to see. And maybe you'll get inspired like I do, and we'll all learn together. So thank you for watching. Come back and see me. This is Opus Abstract. Subscribe and like, and come back and see me. We'll see you soon. Bye.